Good evening, everybody. It is Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday so far. It's been a while, hasn't it? I was checking the channel earlier, and I think it's been just over a month since I last did a live stream. But sometimes life does get in the way. I've had a lot on over the last month since Leeds' relegation was confirmed. Obviously, I've started a new job. My missus had an operation last week. There's been a lot going on, but the content is going to be back on a more consistent basis now, guys. 100%. There's 37 of you in the building so far, which is amazing for a Sunday night. Really do appreciate all of the support. Just before we get into it, as always, guys, please smash that like button if you haven't already. It does really help get the stream out there. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighbours, whoever. Subscribe if you're brand new as well. Let's try and get me to 3,000 as soon as possible. Of course, hit that notification bell and continue to get your comments in as you already are so far. We'll just get into a few of them straight off the bat. Edward's saying hi, how you doing, guys? Edward's one of the members of the channel. Really appreciate you joining up to that, Edward, mate. And anyone else that can afford to join up to the membership on the channel, it's very much appreciated, and it does go straight back into the channel 100%. Andy's saying it's like waiting for this takeover to happen. We'll be coming to that, Andy. Don't you worry. We'll be discussing that shortly. Big Rick saying, can you give my daughter a shout out? She was 18 yesterday. She's a big Leeds fan. Her name's Jessica. Happy 18th birthday, Jessica. Hope you had a really good day yesterday. Yeah, hope you had a good one. Kev's in the building. Evening, Kev. How we doing? Enzo, how we doing, Enzo? Hope you're good. Rumour Farke is not to be the new coach. Yeah, there's been a little bit of a development on that front. I have my own little opinion on that, which we will be coming to shortly, so stay tuned. JC's in the building as always. Evening, Jay, how we doing? Michael, evening, mate, how we doing? Julie as well. All of the regulars are starting to join now. Will Leeds United ever get sorted out? That is the $1 million question, isn't it? That is the $1 million question. Another day, another tumbleweed at Ellen Road. Yeah. So basically, guys, obviously this stream, as I say, it's called the weekly catch up. I'll probably be doing this every Sunday now during the summer, just obviously so that it gives us an opportunity to come together like we are now and just discuss the past week's events. Obviously, I will be back with my uploads throughout the week, reacting to all the news concerning Leeds United. But I thought I'd just jump on because it's been a while, hasn't it? And I just thought we'd jump on and just discuss all the latest goings on and just get all of your guys' thoughts as well. JC has just joined up to the membership scheme. Really do appreciate that, Jay. You've supported the channel for a while now, mate. So that really does mean a lot. As I say, anybody that can get on board with that, it's very much appreciated. So thanks a lot again, Jay. That's amazing. So then, where shall we start? Let's start with the EFL. Because they've always hated us, haven't they? And really starting to show now, isn't it? I think I've never known. Look, I know that it's not as straightforward as just authorising it within 24, 48 hours. I get that there are processes that they need to follow, that there are checks that they need to do, obviously, so that they can make sure that it's not a dodgy takeover or anything like that. I do get that. But let's be real, guys. We found out that Rads and the 49ers had agreed the deal to sell the club about 2-3 weeks ago now, and we're still none the wiser as to what's actually going on. The club keep tweeting out, stupid stuff. Obviously, they tweeted about the West Brom game being rearranged to the Friday night. They tweeted out about Boxed being his new partnership, and then the one today about the message that they want on the armband for the friendly against Man U. It's like, what they're playing at. And if you read the replies, it's literally just stuff about the takeover, about the manager, and that nothing seems to be happening. So they'll know that the fans are frustrated. Of course they will. They see every tweet that has hashtag LUFC in it. They know what's going on. Let's just be real. They definitely know what's going on within the fan base. For once, I actually don't blame Leeds United for something. I don't actually think it's the club themselves. I think, look, I'd like to think, and I'm pretty certain that things are definitely happening in the background. But the AFL are just taking the absolute mick with this. And look, there was a report saying that the decision would be made by the beginning of last week, just gone. It didn't come. Then it said it'd be the middle of the week, just gone. Again, not happened. Then they said it might be over the weekend, and it's still not happened. At the time of doing this, there's still not been an announcement. I know that people might not be able to check Twitter given that new crazy update that Elon Musk has decided to add to Twitter. But there's nothing. And look, that's why I kind of had to put out on my socials the other day, I think it was, just saying, I'm not gonna come on and do these news videos when there's nothing to talk about. It's just the same stuff, and I don't want to come on and keep repeating myself every single day because for one, it's boring because it's just the same news, and two, it's frustrating for us content creators, guys. I've noticed that there's been a lot of other channels that aren't uploading as regularly at the minute, but that's because there's nothing to talk about, and it's so frustrating. The AFL are doing obviously the director and fitness test or something like that. Leeds United wanted to have the manager in charge by tomorrow because that's when pre-season begins for us. Bear in mind, we play Cardiff 5 weeks today. Just bear that in mind. 5 weeks today, we play Cardiff. We've got Man United in a friendly in 10 days. Got no manager, no permanent director of football, and the takeover's still not done. And then you've got Leicester, who are signing England internationals and Premier League experience, yet they're in the Championship. They spent 10 million on Harry Winks and then about 8 million on Connor Cody. Now, they might not look. I think if we were signing them, there may be some criticism. I'm not saying this because of who the players are, but Leicester are signing players. Leicester have got a manager in place. Their ownership's obviously already sorted or whatever, and they've started to sign players. They might not be the best names, they might not be the best players, but I think they'll definitely do a job for them in the Championship, 100%. And we're out here just in limbo. So, and what's more frustrating as well? I've heard over the last few days that if we'd have stayed up, the takeover would have been done within a week or so, literally. Well, it'd have been done quickly anyway, let's just say. It'd have been done by now. So it's just more frustration. And I don't know how many times I've scrolled Twitter and refreshed my feed over the last few weeks. But every time you see Leeds have tweeted, you're like, oh, and then it's just something daft like the armband thing earlier, like stupid. But yeah, look, the EFL really do need to book their ideas up and get this sorted. I don't think Leeds are holding off the manager announcement because of the takeover. I think they just wanted the takeover to be done before they announced the manager. I firmly believe that the manager is sorted. I believe that players leaving know they're leaving. I believe that we've probably contacted potential signings, which we'll be able to come on to in a little bit. I believe it's all happening in the background. This is not me having a go at Leeds for once. But the AFL have never liked us, and it's really, really starting to show now. Guys, there's 66 of you in the building. That's absolutely unreal for a Sunday night. Really do appreciate everyone that's in the building. If you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be very much appreciated. It just helps get the video out there. Please subscribe if you are brand new and continue to get your comments in. Let's just get into a few more. Nice to have you back, Charlie. Brilliant content, mate. Thanks, Ernie. Thank you very much. It has been a while, but like I say, it'll be more consistent now. Sorry it took so long, pal. I think you're on about the membership there, Jay. Don't you worry about that, mate. Don't you worry. Jordan's in the building. Hey up, Charlie. AFL is definitely trying to keep hold of Sky Sports Leeds for as long as possible in the Championship. Yep, seems that way. Done it as first 2 home games of the season of both on telly. It's not a coincidence, is it? They love having Leeds on telly because it knows it brings views in for them. Problem is they had a plan for the takeover if we stayed in the Prem, but no plan if we were relegated, which is crazy if you think about it. Yeah, but like I've just been saying, Jay, I don't think Leeds are to blame for this in terms of the club themselves. Yeah, they're probably to blame, obviously, for maybe not having a plan in place for it, but the takeover thing at the minute has been agreed. The takeover's been agreed. It's just the EFL are taking the mick. I think the EFL have probably given it the green light. They're just taking ages for it to be announced for some reason. I just don't get it. Coventry forward, Gikores approached by Leeds. Don't think so. I think he's going to Sporting Lisbon, isn't he? If we were called something else, this would be sorted 3 weeks ago. They're so biased against Leeds. Sorry, but it stinks. Yep, 100%. Completely agree with you, Julie. That's the more frustrating thing, isn't it? That it's clearly an agenda. 100%. There was something today, Charlie, when Kevin Maguire, finance guy, who's in the know for that kind of stuff, said it was more to do with the owners, might mean Rads too, who have held things up. Interesting. Joe mentioned it today on his channel. Interesting then. Again, but that's kind of another issue as well. No clarity, no explanation as to what is really going on. Do you know what I mean? Even if Leeds just put out a statement just saying, look, we understand fans are frustrated, but this is what's going on and this is the sort of deadline that we expect. And then at least you'd know then. It might still be frustrating, and I get that, but at least we would know something. It's all this, it's all being done behind the scenes and you don't know what's going on and it's frustrating. Like, we want to know what's happening, don't we? But I don't know. Huddersfield got their owner in place and all done. What's the big hold up? Fearing the worst already. So depressing. Look at the EFL again. Yeah, it is. And to have the best chance of getting out of there at the first time of asking, Paul, we need to get our affairs in order. We need to start getting rid of players that are clearly going to leave. We need to start signing players. We need to get the manager in, first and foremost. But again, it wouldn't be Leeds if it wasn't complicated, was it? If it was just easy and everything had gone through smoothly, it would not be Leeds, would it? So, yeah. I just have a feeling about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I mean, pre-season does start tomorrow, so maybe they're holding off it until tomorrow. That you could be right there, Jay, but I wouldn't hold your breath too much on that. I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. But yeah, I understand your thinking there. Hope it's all sorted out soon. You and me both, mate. You and me both. Steve's saying they just want us off to a bad start. Yeah, I'd argue that as well. You reckon that'll be Farke? Yeah, I do. We'll be coming on to that in just a second. I'll just get into a few more of your comments and then we'll discuss the manager situation in a bit more detail. Ridgedale is on the AFL board. Shows how much of a joke it is. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Again, that just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? 49ers want Farke. I don't understand why Rads can't just sign off on it. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's Rads just being a little bit bitter. You don't know. Because at the minute, as things stand, Rads technically still owns the club. So you'd think that obviously the 49ers can make the decisions and he can just sign off on it for now. But who knows? That's the problem when no news is coming out of the club. All the stories that come out, you have no idea what to believe. Yep, exactly. Yep, Jay, crap, fill this face. If we had signed Winks and Cody, I would have been over the moon. I don't know about over the moon mark, but I'd have been I, I would have accepted them for the championship. But if we'd have stayed up and signed them two, I'd have been a bit. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But yeah, let's get into the manager then. So obviously, as Fergal's just asked there, do you reckon it'll be Farke? Yeah, I do. I think Daniel Farke is pretty much signed. It's just waiting the official pen to paper, in my opinion. Sky Sports in Germany were reporting on Friday, Thursday or Friday, that Daniel Farke is all but done. Leeds were ideally hoping to hold out for the takeover announcement first, but I do believe that with pre-season starting tomorrow, that they'll be forced to maybe announce him sooner. Hopefully, get Radrizzani to sign off on it. Because even if we just had the manager in, at least the manager can come in, he can decide which players he wants to sell, what players he wants. We've already got Nick Hammond in as a advisor at the minute, so let's get him on board, start making some signings. Then the takeover can happen as and when it happens, but obviously the takeover does need to happen as soon as possible because the 49ers will probably inject a little bit more capital into the club, whereas Radrizzani, I don't think, will, given his new position with Sampdoria. So, yeah, he might be able to sign off on the manager, but signings he won't be able to sign off on because it won't be his money that's contributing. It'll be the 49ers. So it's all just a little bit up in the air with that, but I do believe it'll be Daniel Farke. Obviously, there's the news that's come out today from a French outlet suggesting that Leeds United have approached the Lorient manager. His name escapes me, but it obviously said that Leeds had approached this guy. I'll be honest, I don't believe it. Again, like someone just said there, I think because there's no news at the minute, every story that gets printed about Leeds, people don't know what to believe. Some people are going with it. Obviously, I saw that Joe did his stream earlier about it, and fair enough. I just don't think it's true. If it is true, then fair enough. I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong. But I I think Daniel Farker's pretty much done, in my opinion. I just think this is a weird story that they've decided to put out just for a little bit of clickbait, really. Look, again, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. If we get him, fair enough. But I would be happy with Daniel Farke. I really would. I don't get the mentality of some fans that have been slating the appointment on Facebook, Twitter, and stuff. And it's just like, you need to get real with yourselves. We've been relegated. If we'd have stayed up, we may have had a chance of getting a better quality manager. But let's be real, guys. We've been relegated. Daniel Farke is a good appointment for the Championship. And I do feel that if he's backed accordingly, he could work in the Premier League should we get there as well. People think it was his fault why he got Norwich relegated. It wasn't. It wasn't backed. Like I said on a few uploads recently, they gave him 10 million after getting promoted one season. 10 million. 10 million. When you've just been promoted to the Premier League. That's outrageous. Might as well have relegated him straight away. Never going to stay up spending 10 million. 49ers, on the other hand, if we can get promoted first time of asking, even second time of asking, they'll inject a lot of money into Leeds United to make sure that relegation doesn't happen again, or at least doesn't happen for a long time. It's the expectation's just on its arse at the minute, guys, isn't it? It really, really is. People are still acting like we're still in the Premier League. We're not. We've been relegated. We need to start coming to that fact now. The names that we're going to get linked with, whether it's managers or players even, they're not going to be Hollywood signings anymore. They're not going to be a Rafinha, a Rodrigo. It isn't a Sinistera. It's not going to be like that. We've been linked with Nat Phillips from Liverpool, being linked with Sam Field from QPR, Ryan Manning, Perot. These are the sorts of players we're being linked with. Good players, but not Hollywood signings. And we need to get his head wrapped around that, guys. We need to think, is this player going to be good for the Championship? Is this player going to help Leeds United get promoted. That's what you've got to think of at the minute. Some of these players we're being linked with, I would not take in the Premier League. But in the Championship, I would take them all day long. And then you build on it when you get promoted. But yeah, in terms of the manager, I do think it'll be Daniel Farke. And yeah, I would be very happy with that. His Norwich teams in the Championship, when he got them promoted, they were champions both times. He's got EFL Manager of the Year. The style of football, I've watched a few clips of them on Twitter. Very good, very good. Attacking football, possession-based manager as well, which is what I would like to see. Obviously, after having Bielsa, I'd like to at least get back to a similar way of playing. I don't think we'll ever reach the highs of what Bielsa did with us, but I think he can. I think Farke can definitely get us playing in a similar way, 100%. Given that the recruitment is correct, of course, there's going to be a lot of outgoings. There's going to be a lot of incomings as well. So yeah, look, it is what it is, isn't it? I do think it'll be Daniel Farke though, and hopefully that gets sorted at some point this week. You just never know, do you? Oh, dear. We'll just get into a few of your comments, guys. There's 92 people in the building. It's the highest amount that I've ever had on a live stream. Is this? So really do appreciate all of the support. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Hit the notification bell on all that jazz. 95 now. Jesus, that's amazing. That's really good. Really good to see. Right. Where is this news about Lebriz being the manager? Is that his name? Right. So, yeah, we've just discussed that, haven't we? The Lorient manager. I think Rads is still there. That communication today stinks of him. Yeah, I know what you mean there. What standard of player are you expecting to come? Interesting question. I think it'll be a lot of proven championship players from other championship clubs mixed with maybe some lower end Premier League players, maybe like a couple of loans. But yeah, I think there'll be a lot of incomings once all this nonsense is sorted. And I think there'll be a lot of outgoings as well. So yeah. What's to catch up on? We have no manager, no new signings until Rad signs us off, no confirmed owners. So what is there to catch up on? All right, Jamie, fair enough. I mean, if the stream's not for you, pal, you don't have to watch. It's absolutely fine. No dramas. Sadly, I can still see Cooper Ailing Bamford starting this season. God, don't say that, Skip. God, don't say that. I do think them three players in particular will still be at Leeds. Hopefully not in a starting capacity. But I do think they'll still be part of the squad 100%. Libery's being linked now. Where's this coming from? Yeah, exactly, Gail. I just think it's a load of nonsense, to be honest with you. Skip, don't say that. Yeah, exactly. Please don't say that. Jay's saying it will be very Leeds. We're all waiting on Farke to be announced, and tomorrow morning we end up announcing Ruud van Nistelrooy, who I would be buzzing about, but very happy with Farke. Yeah, 100%. I will definitely be happy with Farke. Libri got Chelino vibes as that. Hope it is Farke. At least he's been there and done it at this level. Yeah, exactly. Connor at One Lead said some of Farke's team weren't sold on the project. Do you think we are using this French manager to put a bit of pressure on the... Yeah, maybe, Jordan. That's a good theory, to be fair. Who knows? I do think either way it is a nonsense story. I don't think we've approached him. It could be used as leverage to get Daniel Farke and his team over the line. But like I said, Sky in Germany have already reported that the deal's all but done. It's literally just... Leeds just wanted to wait for the takeover to be announced first, but I think they may be forced to appoint Farke before the takeover news, to be fair, because I think fans are just getting that frustrated with it all now, aren't they? Joe was saying that too, Charlie. Agent talk, yeah, 100%. Yeah, those players should not still be here, but here you go. Yes, Charlie, not back. Stuart Webber said he had to send Farke to war without a gun. 10 mil spend is mad. Yeah, exactly. When you've just been promoted to Prem, when you've got... I know Norwich are nowhere near this level, but when you've got Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United spending the millions they do, and you're spending 10 million, it's a recipe for disaster. I'm pleased to give Farke a chance. Yeah, 100%. I think he definitely deserves an opportunity to do it. Need to be smart with some loans like Sheffield United, where they got the likes of McAtee and etc. Yep, and a really good point. I do think Leeds United need to expose the loan market effectively in this window. But I do think there'll be a lot of permanent incomings as well. I really do. NJ1 saying our Hollywood signings already play for us. We gave a few gems in the under 21s. Yeah. And, the likes of Cresswell, Somerville, Drame, Darko JB, who else? Mateo Joseph, players like that, they'll be able to get their opportunity now, won't they? 100% up, unless what's the point in getting them in the first place? Must admit, when you think of all the managers we were linked of in the Prem, Farke was way down the list, but he's proved with the right squad team he can do a good job. Yeah, 100%. That's why I would be more than happy with the appointment of Daniel Farke. Delap signed for Hull would have been decent. Yeah, I saw that. That's Liam Delap, isn't it, from Man City? They've got him on loan of Hull. Good signing. Would have definitely taken him at Leeds, but obviously that ship sailed now. He now seems the best option in reality. Yeah, of course he does. The only player Leeds have signed so far is Forshaw for one extra season. Have we actually done that yet, though? I don't think we have, Michael. Don't think that's been made official, unless you know something I don't. But I don't think that's been made permanent. They actually let him go. They've invited him back for pre-season along with your Robles, but they've both not been offered any sort of contract yet. I think they're waiting for the manager. Shock. Would have liked the 49ers to come out and say something just to ease fans' worries. Yeah, exactly. Even if a statement was made just to say, look, this, and this is happening. This is the deadline that we kind of expect. I appreciate it's frustrating, but we're working hard on it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it would probably still be frustrating, but at least we would know. At least we would know. If Rasmus is going to Roma, does that mean Drame might be staying? Hopefully, and I'm really not bothered to see the back of Rasmus Christensen. I will just say that. But yeah, I really want Drame to stay. I think it'd be unbelievable in the Championship, which he's already proven that he can be. So yeah, a tiny bit worried now. Every team is signing people, and we're just waiting until we sell our loan. Yeah, it is worrying, isn't it? I can't lie. It is really starting to get frustrating and get on my nerves now. I really can't lie to you about that. But that brings us obviously on to the next topic, incomings and outgoings. Let's speak about some outgoings first. As you can see on the thumbnail, Tyler Adams is a man that is in high demand, according to reports. The likes of Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Everton, all interested in the American captain. And can you blame them? He proved that in the Premier League for Leeds that he was a very effective midfielder. Not maybe the best on the ball, but I think he broke up play quite well. He did his job well. He knew what his job was, knew where he needed to be. A good tackler, a ball winner. He did much better than I thought he would do. And yeah, look, I can thoroughly understand the interest in Tyler Adams. Again, the release clause for him, there's loads of different rumours. Some say 20 mil, some say 25, some say 30. Is a team going to play 30 million for Tyler Adams? I don't think so. I think if we can get the 20 back that we paid for him, I'd take that, to be fair. Or even if we get 25, make a small profit. But yeah, Tyler Adams is a player who, if we could convince to stay just for one season and just say, look, if we don't go up this season, then fine, you can go, then that would be amazing. But I don't expect Tyler Adams to stay a Leeds United player in 5 weeks' time. Don't expect him to be starting against Cardiff in 5 weeks. So yeah, that's an outgoing that I expect to happen. There's Robin Koch as well. Loads of clubs being linked with Robin Koch since the start of the transfer window. Man United got linked with him. Spurs, Newcastle, Frankfurt, Freiburg, who he originally come from, being linked with him. Napoli have been linked with him as well. Seems to be a lot of interest in Robin Koch, and I really don't understand it. Because I think he's absolute garbage, and he's had an awful season. a massive reason as to why we got relegated was the back four. And he was part of that back four for the majority of the season. Only missed a few games. And there's teams in Europe that want him, that are going to be playing European football, that want him. I just don't get it. 15 million, I've heard. I would snap your hand off for 15 million for Robin Koch. Would absolutely snap your hands off for 15 million for Robin Koch. 110%. So, yeah, goodbye, Robin. Thanks for your service, but really not bothered that you're going. Then there's obviously Rasmus Christensen and Diego Llorente, who look likely to complete loan moves to Roma. Obviously, because apparently with a few of the players, there's like this clause in the contract which allows them to leave on loan as long as the club that they go to pay for 100% of their wages, which I understand and I appreciate and I think is a good idea for certain individuals that we've got in our team. However, if we lose Tyler Adams, if we lose Nonto, if we lose Sinistera, players like that on this like loan scheme, then I'll be very disappointed because I would rather make money on these good players that we've got. But for the likes of Rasmus and for the likes of Llorente, just to get them out of the club, I wouldn't be bothered at all. Willing Onto, again, another player who I feel we need to keep hold of. Do I think we'll keep hold of him? No. He's been linked with Serie A teams, been linked with Everton. And I do expect Willing Onto to leave as well. Somerville's been rumoured to be going to Feyenoord and PSV. Again, don't want that to happen. I do think we'll keep hold of Somerville, hopefully. There's Rutter being linked with a return to Hoffenheim. There's Sinistera linked with AC Milan. There's a lot of links at the minute. Brendan Aronson to Fulham on loan. But again, there's Rodrigo as well. He's been linked with Sevilla, Qatari clubs, Saudi clubs. There's going to be a lot of outgoings, guys. There's going to be a few outgoings, but there's going to be incomings as well, which we'll come on to in just a bit. I'm just going to get into, guys, there's 93 of you in the building, 94, sorry, at the minute. Really do appreciate all of the support again. If I don't get a chance to read out your comment, I do apologise. It's just as the comments are flying in at the minute. There's a rumour that Forshaw was to be offered another year contract, but take it with a pinch of salt as it's gone quiet on that one. Yeah, I don't want Forshaw. I'd rather Forshaw just go, to be honest. It was on Team Talk, to be fair, and they get a lot of things wrong, in fairness. Hopefully the 49ers will stick to their regard clauses are very close. Yeah, hopefully. Would love to see Adam stay, but think he'll have too many offers. Yeah, 100%. The frustrating thing is, if we could just convince Adams, Nonto, Somerville and Wober to stay, we would easily get back up first time, in my opinion. Yeah, I do think we'd have a very good chance if those players remained at the club. Koch must have the best agent in the world. You're telling me. How is he being linked with those clubs? Like, how? He's actually woeful. He's actually so bad. German international he was. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I think we have come to the realisation that all the players we want to keep, Adams, Nonto, Somerville, will leave. None of them wanted to slug it out on a Tuesday night in Stoke. Yeah, completely agree with you, mate. Completely agree, Jay. Robin Koch, I agree. Awful defender. Doesn't get picked for arguably the worst German national side in history. Group stage exits in 2 World Cups. Yeah, and he still doesn't get picked. Tells you a lot, doesn't it? Martin's in the building. Hi, Charlie. Tried to go to the Leeds supporters AGM at Ellen Road today with a 49ers representative in attendance, but got stuck on the motorway for 4 hours after a milk tanker went over. Jesus. What? Well, so there was a meeting at Ellen Road today, was there? Interesting. Edward's in the building. We must be hearing tomorrow. Harry manager. Yeah, I won't hold your breath on it, mate. You just never know. Christensen looks decent at centre back if he stays. Give him a chance in the Championship. Same going with players like Aronson. Nah, I want Aronson to go. I want Christensen to go as well. But again, each to their own opinion. Yeah, Jordan, just don't think a lot are up for it. Yeah, they won't be, will they? They definitely won't be. Cheers, everyone. Can't just let player after player leave because there is not enough time to replace them all. Yeah, exactly. I do think there'll be quite a few outgoings, but I think they'll be replaced with a lot of incomings if we can get this takeover and manager sorted within the next week or so, I believe. Guys, there's 100 people in the building. It's the first time we've ever hit triple figures on a live stream. That's absolutely amazing. Again, please smash that like button. Please subscribe. Get all your comments in and all that jazz. We will be finishing up shortly after we've discussed potential incomings. Hopefully the 49ers will stick to their guns. Oh, yeah, we've already had that comment. That conversation has to happen. The new owners must sit down with the whole squad and tell them what they want. At least the players know then the ambition of the club. Yeah, exactly. And I think it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that we all expect to go up at the first time of asking. I think the Championship, from what I've seen, is quite a poor league. I think the three teams that have been relegated, obviously us, Leicester and Southampton, have probably got a very good chance of going straight back up. I think Leicester will win the Championship. That's an early prediction for you there. I think Leicester will win it. I think we'll finish second if we get the manager and the recruitment right. Huge caveat there. If we get everything right, I think we'll finish second. I wouldn't be surprised if Southampton didn't come back up, but I think they'll get playoffs. But yeah, that's just some early predictions for you there. Early predictions. Maybe Cock may thrive for a different club. Yeah, potentially. Caroline's in the building. If the back four aren't replaced, we will need a very good midfield. Yeah, I think the majority of the back four will definitely get replaced. Need some talk from Leeds. Yep, 100%. What's all this I hear about the Frenchman Lebris? I thought Farke was a done deal. Yeah, if you go back to the start of the stream, get my expat life in Colombia, you'll be able to see that we've already discussed that. I don't think it's true. I think Farke is more or less done. We just need to wait for all the other formalities to be sorted. Who doesn't want to stay? Let them go. Yeah, exactly. Martin, don't milk it. Right, let's get into some potential incomings then before we close the stream off for tonight. As I said earlier, there's a few names that have been linked. Obviously, we'll speak about Nat Phillips first from Liverpool. Fee is believed to be in the region of up to £10 million. That doesn't mean it will be 10, it's just anything up to. But I think there's some reports suggesting that we could probably get it done for between 6 and 8 million. Now, for a player that hasn't featured much in the Premier League, obviously, I think his biggest period of playing for Liverpool was when Van Dijk was injured that season. And he did play a lot of games. He played in the Champions League. He played in the San Siro against Milan. He played against Real Madrid. So he has got decent experience at that level. I can understand why people are moaning about paying 10 million potentially. But I think if we could get him for between 6 and 8 million, I wouldn't be too stressed about that. I'd actually be all right with that. I think Nat Phillips would be a bit of a Rolls Royce in the Championship. I think if we could get another centre back next to him, imagine if it were Cresswell and Nat Phillips at the back in the Championship. I think that's a very solid centre back partnership. Drame on one side, and if we get, what's the guy called from Swansea? Ryan Manning. If we could get that one over the line, there's a really good back four there for the Championship, in my opinion. So, yeah, I would take Nat Phillips 100%. Let's speak about Ryan Manning as well. Left back, Swansea Player of the Year. Again, I've not watched a lot of Championship football since we were promoted from it the last time. But I've heard good things. I've seen good things from him. So, yeah, anyone's got to be better than Junior Firpo, right? So I would definitely take Ryan Manning. So, yeah, there's Perot from Swansea as well. 19 goals in the season just gone, 22 the season before that, and they only paid 2 million for him. So, obviously, they'll expect a decent fee, I would imagine. But I think if we could get that one over the line, I think it'd be good to have him over Patrick Bamford for obvious reasons. And Sam Field of QPR as well. I think he got their player of the season as well. Box-to-box midfielder. Again, hearing and seeing a lot of good things about him as well. So the players we're being linked with are of decent quality, in my opinion. Again, It's all the formalities that need to happen before we start to see some movement on any potential incomings and outgoings. Just getting to a few of your comments now. Both Southampton and Leicester will all go back up. The Championship is poor in quality, and I think the three of us will have too much. Hopefully, you're right, Jay. Let's hope Pep's assistant is a flop at Leicester. Yeah, hopefully. But I think if he's learnt from Pep, I don't think he'll be a flop. We need to be with the session starting just up, mate. 5 weeks, Edward. 5 weeks today. We will have played our first 5 weeks today at this exact time. We will have played our first game of the season. That's the perspective. Apparently, Leeds were still interviewing managers early last week. I do like the 49ers are still being yeah, they are being thorough, but been a little bit too thorough for my liking. But again, I guess you can never be too thorough. But it's just frustrating when there's no news coming out of the club. There's been no, like I say, even if they just put out a basic statement, just giving an update on what's going on, I think we'd all be, we'd all feel a lot better, wouldn't we? Although I appreciate Bamford has certain aspects of his game that are good, I can't help but feel let down by him and his attitude over the last 2 seasons. Nice bloke, but please let him go. Yep, couldn't agree more. Nat Phillips will head a brick, apparently. Yep, really, really good header of a ball, apparently, from what I'm hearing. Perot would be a good shout. Can't have Bamford being our starting striker anymore. Yep, completely agree. Manning wants to come to Leeds, from what I hear. Good, get him in. Is it official now about Farke? I don't believe so. But I will just check Twitter for you now. Just to see. Nah, it'd be at the top of my feed if it were. Nah. Could I've just seen something about Leeds wanting Neil Maupay? Or like maybe wanting Neil Maupay? Jesus Christ. Definitely not. Definitely not. So yeah, look, no, it isn't official about Farke. Hopefully it will be at some point in the next 10 years. That'd be nice. But yeah, guys, we'll bring the stream to an end there. We've been going just over 45 minutes. There's 125 people in the building. Highest number of people on a live stream so far. Really, really do appreciate it. It's really overwhelming, is that? Really good stuff to see on a Sunday night. You've really just made my weekend with that 100%. So yeah, like I say, guys, we'll be doing this every Sunday, a live stream where we'll just speak about the week's events. I will be back with content throughout the week where I will be reacting to any news that may happen this week. Really do appreciate all of your support and everyone that's wrote a comment in the chat. If you haven't already, please smash that like button on your way out. It does help get the video out there to more people and get more eyes on the channel. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new as well. We're on the road to 3,000. If you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, that would be amazing. Hit that notification bell. And of course, get all your comments in the comment section down below if you're watching after the live stream has ended. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great week, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.